Hello and welcome to probably what is going to be the last Oddities video of the year. The AFL make it very hard to record and do any sort of voiceover, any commentary on the AFL Grand Final. So unfortunately that probably means that this is going to be the last video. Now, I really do want to appreciate and thank you to every single person who has subscribed and watched the channel over the season. The channel has gone massive. It's now over 13,000 subscribers, which is just insane. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. In this first clip, we can see the defense from the Cats was elite. 3 minutes left. Stewart makes a very impressive tackle here to stop Bailey, and it ends up being a turnover and ends up going down the other end, and Cats kick a goal. But as we all know, Brisbane Lions, Joe Danaher kicks a goal at the end for the Lions to win and make the AFL Grand Final. Brian Myers probably played one of the better games I've seen him ever play, and this here you can see that he actually ends up overrunning the ball, but he's able to go back and just kick it towards goal, and it looks like it was almost going to go through, and then a teammate goes through and just kicks it like they're doing a soccer drill. Brian Myers was absolutely elite on the weekend. Unfortunately, not enough to get the job done. I thought this sequence of play was pretty hilarious, as Willie Rioli's trying to fight off like 8 dudes trying to go through for a goal. The ball ends up with the Swans and it's on their defensive goal line, and you can see that Ollie Florent is too scared to take it over just so he doesn't give away that free kick. And DVJ, I guess he's standing there to be like, well, there's no pressure, so if he takes it over, is it a intentional, so it's a free kick? But they sort of just come to a standstill and they're just standing there, and you can just see that no one wants to take the ball over, and they're just like, yeah, I just thought it was strange. Everything just came to a standstill, and yeah, I thought that was pretty odd. I thought this was a pretty important play in the end of the game, as it did lead to a Lions goal, but you can see here that the sub in McKenna gets the ball and he's able to kick it over the top. Most players would actually take a shot at goal to try and win the game, I guess. 10 minutes left to go, they're up by a goal already. He could have taken a shot at goal and most people would have accepted that, but he's done the right thing, the team thing, which is what you want, especially in finals. You just want to make sure of the goal, make it 100% certainty. He kicks it over the top, and then Logan Morris is able to get the ball and go through and kick a very important goal. As Zorko is trying to get the ball out of the defensive 50 for the Lions, he handballs it over and Brian Myers is able to take the ball, and as he's running away with his right foot towards the boundary, takes a floater kick at goal, and somehow this thing goes through. He was elite on the weekend, like I said before, but yeah, there's no way this goal should have gone in, especially with a floater. While being tackled, Kai Lohmann, I assume, is taking a shot at goal here, and because he's being tackled, the ball just goes straight up in the air, and it looks like he's just completely shanked the kick, but somehow this ball stays in, and you can see Stewart reckons he gets a hand to it, whether he does or not. Somehow Charlie Cameron is able to take the mark, and you can see the boundary umpire is right there, and I guess it was in, whether it was or not, but well done to Charlie Cameron for doing the right thing and seeing the ball still in play and taking the mark, and then he goes through and kicks the very first goal for the Lions. What's your opinion on this for the advantage play on called here by the umpire? You can see that in the tackle that Narkle's nailed and it's holding the ball, and as he goes down to the ground, he actually hits the ball forward, and I guess for me that kind of makes the ball dead, a dead ball. And the ball goes forward well over the mark to the point where the Swans don't actually have possession of the ball. Sometimes, you know, when a free kick is paid, the Swans will have the ball and they keep running, and then the umpire calls play on. But the ball's on the ground and it's already dead. There's no one that has actually touched the ball. But Heaney picks the ball up and the umpire actually calls play on advantage. Even though I feel like the ball's been knocked loose from Port Adelaide, I feel like this should have been brought back in my opinion. But anyway, what do you think about that one? The umpire got completely conned into this one as Jason Horne-Francis pushes Jordan into Willem Drew, and the umpire sees that Willem Drew's gone down, so it must be a free kick to Port Adelaide. He's been completely fooled with this one. Tom Stewart gave away a free kick for this bump on Lohmann. I guess he does get him under the rib cage, but do you think this is a free kick? The ball's in play, Lohmann's touched it, Stewart is just bumping him off the play so he's not involved. And I think he's within that zone where he's still in the play. It's not off the ball, it's still in the play. So yeah, was this a free kick? I don't know. I feel like you got to let this go, especially in the final. Like, the guys just want to be physical. They want to let their presence be known. Is this a free kick? I don't know. I don't think it is. thought the whole idea of the rule change mid-season was that players weren't being slung. So when the ball is held in, the umpire is supposed to blow his whistle, or something like this where Burgoyne has held on to the tackle long enough. He spun him 360. McLean has had plenty of time to get rid of the ball. He doesn't, and then he's able to get the handball off and ends up with a Swans goal. Didn't matter in the end, Swans smashed Port, but I feel like this should have been paid for holding the ball. He held the tackle long enough, didn't dispose of it, should be holding the ball for me. As the ball goes inside the Swans forward 50, you can see the ball goes down to the ground. Asava Radicalea grabs the ball and he knows his defender's right there, so he sort of shakes left and then turns right, and as he does that, he runs out of room and runs out of play. Now, it probably is an intentional out of play by him, but he's that close to the boundary. I don't think this should be a free kick, in my opinion. He's turning around. He does fake the handball to Boak, but I don't know. I think he's already on the boundary. This doesn't get paid 9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 100 times in a game. So I don't know. In a final, I just don't like it. I don't think that should be a free kick for me. In what looked to be a Rayner goal, you can see that Jed Buse actually goes up to try and punch the ball away. He misses, but when you watch the replay, it's actually the hand that he's not trying to punch with is just extremely lucky and touches the ball. So it's actually not a goal and goes through for a behind. I feel like he's very lucky that the other hand was just dangling there and got the touch. So sometimes you just get lucky, I guess. In the context of the game, I feel like this was a pretty massive mistake by Dangerfield here. You can see that he's got him held up, and it probably would have been called either ball up or holding the ball, but for some reason he tries to drag McCluggage down to the ground, and therefore it's a dangerous tackle. I know the game was at fever pitch at this point, as this is when the Lions were starting to make their comeback, but it's a pretty big mistake, so unfortunately I'm sure he'd like that moment back again. I feel like the umpire got fooled with this one as well, as Jeremy Cameron goes up for the mark and completely flops. He does have a very, very slight hand in the back, but for a key forward, and he's such a strong man to be able to just, whoa, like that. Like, I mean, come on. He had a single hand in the back. He didn't extend it. The umpire got fooled yet again with this one. As Jason Horne-Francis lines up for goal, about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle, he tries to go with a torp, it looks, and can just completely shanks it. Travis Boak had an absolute stinker of a weekend. I reckon I saw probably 3 or 4 turnovers inside the defensive 50. This one here was just well read by Warner, who was able to take the ball away from a poor kick and ends up kicking a goal. As Golden from the Swans gets the ball, he tries to run past Connor Rozee, and Rozee's able to tackle him with still one arm, so that means that it should be holding the ball, but for some reason Willem Drew came in and slightly touched him on the head, and the umpires paid a free kick for the Swans. I think this is a pretty poor decision by the umpire. Willem Drew didn't hit him hard enough for a free kick, and Connor Rozee has him dead to rights. This should have been holding the ball for me. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support throughout the year. I will be doing some videos in the off season. It won't be as regular as the Oddities series, but I really do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's watched throughout the year. We're on 13,000 subscribers. I'm hoping for a massive year next year. I want to try and get to 20,000. So yeah, thank you so much for watching throughout the year. Really do appreciate it. And I guess for the grand final, I am really hoping that the Brisbane Lions are able to do it. I feel like they play a little bit more of exciting brand of footy. And yeah, hopefully they win by 14 points. And for, I guess, the Norm Smith, let's go Will Ashcroft for the Norm Smith. 30 disposals and 2 goals. Let's go Lions.